There's one thing that I love in the summertime, anytime. It's the fucking Haunted Mansion from Disney World, or just Disney brand in general. I love the Haunted Mansion. This is a total side note. So if you're seeing this, either you like subscribe to some bullshit, or I just didn't edit out the beginning because, or Rob didn't edit out the beginning because, like, let me be clear, like, Rob edits this stuff because I don't know how to fucking edit this kind of thing. Music, I can edit like crazy. But this kind of stuff, I couldn't edit to save my fucking life. He says that I can. I don't know if I could, but no. Love it. Love everything about the fucking Haunted Mansion. Now, Starbucks has a Haunted Mansion cup. I wonder if it's a drink. I don't know. I know a friend who really likes Starbucks. I would buy her a Starbucks like every week, like all year. And I bet she would be super appreciative of this news because she likes creepy things too. So, without further ado, I would like you all to please rise for the Canadian National Anthem. Actually, no, I'm just playing. When the Canadian National Anthem plays, I want you all to sit the fuck down, actually, because no. We'll have more on that later. Welcome to another episode of 21st Century Rocker Mom Podcast with me, your host, Tanya Kaler. I'm your host of the most, or the beast of the least. I don't know which one I am. I never say hostess, like, often, because it makes me feel like a potato chip, like a Hostess potato chip, or like a Twinkie, or a ho-ho, like a ding-dong. Like, sometimes that makes me feel like a ding-dong or a ho-ho. That's like a total, like, dad joke. And that's funny because, like, every freaking dad I know for the last, I don't know, maybe, I want to say, I feel like time's been on fast forward, so maybe it's been like almost 2 weeks since the ha-tua girl came out with the video, and you spit on, you gotta spit on that thing. And since that came out, and now memes are everywhere, from Mortal Kombat to Tony Hawk Tua and skateboarding memes to Sue Johansson in the Sunday Night Sex Show, the OG, spit on that thing with the pleasure chest. It's just like the funniest fucking meme going around the internet right now. And it's killing me, man. Like, it's killing me. At first I was like, I don't know what I think about this. But then watching the entire YouTube video and the girl's interview is just, it's fucking hilarious. Because there's like, what's something you can do to someone in bed and it'll just like make their head like spin. Like, what just, you gotta spit on that thing. But the way she said it, like, she's laughing. And you tell she was like totally intoxicated. But it's like she almost wanted to reach out and grab the words and put them back in her mouth. Something that I do not do often. I never reach out and grab the words and put them back in my mouth because I never apologize for anything that comes out of my fucking lips. Like I say, you can threaten me with screenshots all you want, but hand me a microphone because I'll fucking say it again. I don't care. I do not give a shit. And speaking of not giving a shit, and again, dad talk. Let's talk about this fucking dumpster fire. Let's start it off with this. Last week, and the weeks prior, I kind of did a no apology for my absence and stuff like that. I didn't say abstinence. I said absence. I was not here and stuff. And for real, I was scared shitless like a 16-year-old in a fucking high school nurse's office because for real, like real talk, I thought I was pregnant, like talking about dads, like becoming a parent again and stuff like that. I thought I was knocked up, for a better terminology, but like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I thought I was pregnant. I was having the symptoms. I was feeling it. I was like getting the baby blues. I was crying. I got this to drink. There's a lot of different cool herbs in there. They're good for you. I'm not gonna tell you what's in it. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. This isn't somebody's fucking off the wall Twitch stream. I can't do whatever I want on here. I got a YouTube, or I got a TikTok content community warning violation the other day for vaping. Whatever. Anyways, like I say, I thought I was pregnant. So the only one good thing about that situation is I know who the father is, and I would totally know how it happened if I was pregnant. So it goes a bit like this. I'd been getting nausea, like I say, the baby blues. I'd been getting kind of chunky and cravings, going to bed with ice cream cones, like waking up with strange hamburgers in my bed. Weird shit, you know? I had the signs. Plus, Rob had the snip and I have like an IUD, but things can happen, man. Like, if aliens who are watching want me to hatch like some kind of otherworldly being from my womb, they're just gonna fucking put it there. Oh, fuck. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking kidding. My hair should be crazier right now if I'm gonna make fucking claims like that. But as we... the claims are gonna get crazier and crazier. I'm just kidding. But so for like the trek for pregnancy test was weird because I haven't gone on a trek for pregnancy test for a million years and a day. Like probably almost 10 years actually, because like my son is almost 10 years old, right? So it would have been around this time then, a little bit before now, where I would have found out I was pregnant with my first baby. My first little baby, and now my other little baby, you know, who's like gonna be like, who's 6, who's gonna be 7, like holy crap, like I remember having babies. This is crazy. I'm gonna start crying on you now, but no, seriously. So I get it. Since like I texted like 3 of my like close girlfriends and only like 3 of them, because like some of my girlfriends can get like fucking judgy about that. And I told the girls that I knew would not get like fucking judgy and shit about it. Also, I also told some girls that were my age that were like, oh my God, I'm horrified for you. I'm like, I'm also horrified. So, you know, so since I'm old and it's been a while, I had to go and get a test. So I bought 2. I bought 2 tests from the dollar store because I was like, I don't give a fuck. It's the dollar store. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this. I just want to know if I'm pregnant, right? I could have probably asked my like one friend to bring a dipstick home from work, but I'm too much of a dipstick to remind her, and she wouldn't think of it either because she doesn't think of me as getting pregnant because I'm 41 and everybody's fixed up, you know, down there. So I piss on both of these fucking tests. I do them perfectly, like a nurse in the hospital, like boop with the eyedropper, like perfect conditions, everything, specimen perfect. They're both fucking faulty. It was like the COVID test didn't work or something. Everyone thought I was actually testing for COVID. When they saw like the test, they're like, are you testing for COVID? I'm like, Novid, I am not. I'm testing for something else. And so then I never am going to run out of urine samples because I honestly piss constantly. And I think it's because I drink a lot. Not of alcohol, but I just drink a lot of like water and other beverages. Like I try not to have sugar anymore. So that's hard. Sucks. So I pee more. But Rob and I went and got one of those like proper like $20 early detection super first response tests and everything. And I pissed on it. And like right away it was like, you're not pregnant. So I was like, oh, thank fuck, because seriously, I did not want that to be a positive test. Thank Christ that came back negative. And let me tell you a story, and let me explain before I celebrate non-pregnancy and everybody shits all over me for being like, oh my God, you didn't want a baby. No, at 41 years old, fuck no, I don't want a baby. I have been medically advised. I don't want to come off wrong and like hurt somebody who's trying to have kids. And I don't want to come off and like piss off any fundamentalist Christians that are all like, oh God, abortion is murder and all this shit. I don't fucking care what you think. I literally don't give a shit what you think. Medically, I've been advised after a stroke, a TIA, and, you know, seizures, not to have any more babies. Also, since I was admitted with both kids for like high blood pressure and eclampsia and stuff like that, the doctor's like, no more babies for you. So that was actually a really positive test for me because of my personal health. I don't want to get sick. I know people that have had babies in their like 40s and like almost died. I'm not discouraging it, but I'm saying make sure you're like in fucking tip-top condition, because I'm not. And I'm not going to drag a child into it. It's also like, I do not want to bring another child into this fucking dumpster fire of a fucking world. I just want to light a cigarette and watch it burn. It's fucking crazy. Fuck that. Those are for reasons me. Why? Medical advice, number 1. Maternal age, like I said, number 2. All the things that have happened to me, advised no. So it was fear, honestly. It was fear that caught me in the feels. We're going inside out here. It was fear. It was fear that caught me in the feels more than anything else, because fuck, if I was pregnant, oh my God. Look at this fucking world. It's a mess. But again, my choice, nobody else's. It's my like party and celebration to have. Nobody fucking else's, you know? And you have your choice like too. You can decide whatever you want. You know what I mean? You have your freedom to decide. And if it's not the one for you, like the choice that I make is not the right one for you, make the choice that's right for you. You know what I mean? Don't listen to me. This is just for me. Good on you. I'm not going to shit on whatever works like for you. Don't shit on what works for me. Different strokes for different folks. Nobody cares. Just leave each other alone. Seriously, like just fuck off and leave each other alone. Just be nice. Be nice. I'm too old for babies, honestly, and I would probably die if I had any more. So literally different strokes for different folks. Salute to fucking that. What does this Care Bear say? 0 fucks given. 0 fucks given, actually. So, with that said, and me not being pregnant, maybe I should just stick to oral. Well, it's summertime and the living is easy. Well, not that easy, but easier. It's definitely changed pace, which is weird because I'm used to like routine with ADHD and doing everything inside the same box. Work hasn't changed much. It's the same. Kids stuff, play dates, both kids and adults. There's more baseball games, concerts, festivals, flea markets, pop-ups, fucking you name it, fucking having hot dogs and near beers in an alley. I don't give a fuck. The drive-in, the beach. I get to write a ton more. I get to get my fall line ready. My summer line's coming out next week with special things on special days for special people. Doing another memorial scent, actually. So be on the lookout for that one because it's the shit. It's not even the shit. It's the fuck. It's awesome. But also, like the summer is great times. I remember, like, I am taking some time off because within the school year, I'm at the school nearly daily because it's actually July. So hi, happy Disability Pride Month. So not all disabilities are visible and you can see them. So not everybody is riding around in a wheelchair or perhaps on crutches or perhaps visibly disabled. Like you can see that they're visibly disabled. Not all disabilities are visible. Like my son, for instance, has type 1 diabetes. That's not a visible disability to some people. I have ADHD, autism, and fibromyalgia. That's not visible to some people, but they're still disabilities and considered such. So it's Disability Pride Month, and like I say, with him having diabetes, I'm back and forth to the school like once to twice a day all school year, taking care of his diabetes because the nurse that was hired, not by the school, by like the district or whatever, because the district pays for it, like the board, like the, not the school board, but like it's like a nursing board. I think it's through public health. And the people that they hire are fucking completely incompetent. So I was like, nope. I'll go in and do this one. Thanks very much. Like, fuck, who would be a better nurse to their child who has type 1 diabetes than who's been nursing them for the last 4 years? I don't know. Why don't you fucking tell me, riddle me fucking that. But anyways, since between that, so I'm taking a little break. So remember, like I said, going back and forth between still the podcast and the grooming company. I'm still scoring for professional films and TV and doing narration and doing voiceover. And then I'm doing something new. Like I say, I'm taking a new fucking like huge project under my belt, which I don't know if that's going to be haunting me or not, but I need a little feet up time. Also, I can't do markets in the summer and shit like that because markets plus beard butter equals Augustus Gloop, gross. It just melts. So like even when I send out my beard butters, I like flash freeze them because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen in transit. Please don't fucking melt. But I mean, some of my beard butters go to hot climate. Some guys ask me to make them extra stiff. I know who those people are. Always make sure their beard butter is extra stiff. So, there you go. Speaking of extra stiff. This story is fucking horrible. Oh my God. I took some time out of my busy schedule, my busy pants-dropping schedule, like Marky Mark, to take some time out and go to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Oh my God. So I was rooting for the home team, and I love watching baseball live, not on TV. Don't get me wrong here. TV is really lacks its luster for me. I love a live game because I can yell and scream and get crazy and whatever. And it was one of my son's like best buds games, and his mom was there, and my mom's neighbor showed up, and a bunch of other people showed up. And then there was like, it's so nice that a dedicated group of kids can like work together so well and achieve like a common goal. So that was like really nice to see with the baseball team. It was nice to see friends and people we knew from the neighborhood. So remember, we talked about townies, right? Like I talked to you about townies, and I put in my like stories lately what a townie is. If you don't remember, a memory jog, it's basically you go anywhere. There's no anonymity whatsoever. I'm friendly, like, so when I go somewhere and someone recognizes me or I recognize them or whatever, like, I like that. Like, I am, like, down for, like, a hug and shit. And if you're not, like, tell me. I know the people who are down for a hug, and I know who people are like, don't fucking touch me. But, like, honestly, I don't care. Because, like, I love, man. Of course, there's, like, 15 other folks I know, including family and, like, their kids every time, like, I go out. So it's hard. And so sometimes these kids that we saw at the baseball game play together, like my kids and this one girl's kids, and the mom and I sometimes gossip, and the dad who like secretly hates me, and I like will like shoot the shit about hockey scores and stuff like that. So the mom, once in a while I'll go over and I'll sit on her porch and we'll have a chat, and she'll gossip to me and say, oh, you know, I used to be friends with so-and-so, but one day she just shut the door in my face. Or I used to be friends with so-and-so. One day she just shut the door in my face. Or I used to be friends with so-and-so and she just ghosted me. I'm like, okay, this should have been a red flag, Tanya. Like, fuck, I should have known. But, like, I try to see the good in everyone. I see the good in everyone. I should not do that. That's bad. It's bad for me. So, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you. I can't believe I'm even telling you this. I can't believe I'm letting this out. So, this mom and I are, like, kind of, sort of, like, just, like, chatty friends. So we're at the baseball game, we're talking, and she's kind of like trying to like talk away from the friends that she came with. It's almost like she's embarrassed of how like outlandish I can be. And then her dad shows up, right? And he's not with a partner. He's not got a wife or anything right now or anything like that. And completely innocent, totally reminds me of my dad. Totally into the same like music, the same like eras, the same kind of attitude, the same kind of like chit chat like that when my dad would have, like the same kind of commentary like my dad would kind of carry out. So very much like my dad. So I was like, oh wow, nice guy, right? So we got to chat and we got along like a house on fire, right? So I'm like, this is great. He was amazing. You know, some jokes were exchanged back and forth. He was a little bit flirty, but old men are like, I don't know, older men that are 65 plus are like that with me, because they're always like, hey, Big Red, how's it going? Or men will do that, like, hey, Red, I forget your name. How's it going, Red? That's how men address me a lot of the times, and it doesn't make me feel objectified because I'm confident enough in my own hair, fucking lip color, and fucking eyeglasses that I don't give a shit if some guy calls me Red. Like, I don't fucking care. Just don't call me late for dinner, okay? Don't call me bitch. Don't call me whatever. Don't call me anything like that. But, like I say, we got along well. We're both cannabis connoisseurs. Like I say, we like the same bands. We had a hoot. It was a bit flirty, but more in a friendly way. I didn't feel like objectified or in danger. I felt safe in the presence of this person. And I get along really well with like most men. Like 99% of men I get along with really well, because I don't know why I relate to them better than women. I just do. I don't know what it is. I get along with dude friends. Maybe because I'm like a dude in a lot of ways. I will say that. So the next day, like, this is the thing, right? So we had a great time. I go to send a Facebook message to be like, thanks for a great night. That was fun. And I can't find her on Facebook. I'm like, where'd you go? And then I go and I look her up, and like there's not even like an add a friend like option. There is for her husband, who I was not friends with before, but there isn't for her. So I was just like, oh my God. So I don't want to sit around and wondered. I don't want to sit around and think like what happened here. So I confronted the situation and found out what was going on. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would you unfriend someone? Why would you like ghost someone like that? And like, 'cause they're going to have to see me at the pool all summer long. All because she thought I wanted to get this. Have sex with her dad, who's like my dad's age. Okay. Like, that's a fucking reach, man. I don't know. I'm lost for words. I am out for a lot of things, but I don't know. Thank you. I have enough to eat at home. Thank you fucking very much. My jaw hit the fucking floor. So I was quickly met with my own hysterical laughter as I walked away from her, laughing my ass off, being like, you seriously think I want to fuck your dad? Oh my God. You've lost your mind. So anyways, I walked away still laughing and realized that sometimes the trash just needs to take itself out, and sometimes it does. So holy shit. Let me be perfectly clear. I am the last fucking pick-me bitch that fucking wants your husband, your partner, your dad, your son, whatever, you. Like, Rob is the only dude I'm attracted to, other than like Elvis and like Post Malone and probably Hassan Piker. But that's like, Elvis is dead. Like, the other ones are just like, it's just people that I think are attractive sexually. I just never turn my head for like other men. I just don't. I have never kind of been that way, and I'm not like that way. I like beards. I will turn my head if someone has a nice beard, but I will not be looking at their body. I'll be objectifying their beard and like the health of it. Also because I do what I do for a living. Nothing like that. If someone has a nice beard, I'll compliment them on it. I'm like, badass beard, man. That's awesome. And it's more of a doodly thing. Like, I appreciate good grooming. Like, I think if someone's well coiffed and they look excellent and their beard looks like a fucking topiary, I'm going to compliment that shit. Because let's be clear. Let's be 100% clear. Like, I'm pansexual, but basically, like, that means like 90% like lesbian, and the only man that I love is Rob. Oh, I'm just kidding. But like, I definitely appreciate the female form, and my head will turn at times, like for a lady. Not my whole body. Like, I don't turn my whole body, but I just, sometimes I'll, turn my head. That's the whole thing about, I was talking to somebody about this the other day about keeping up with the Joneses and everything. And I said, I don't want to keep up with the Jones because Mr. and Mrs. Jones are having like affairs on each other. Mr. Jones is banging the babysitter. Mrs. Jones is fucking the gardener. I don't want to be those people. So yeah, occasionally, will my head turn for somebody who's attractive? Yes, because am I human? Mm-hmm. Does my body turn? Fuck no. Absolutely not. I don't want to be with anybody else. Number one, I don't have fucking time. It's one partner at a time here, people. Jesus, I don't have time for that shit. But also, we and Rob like are 100% like monogamous prior to popular belief. And Rob knows like what my thing is, and he's comfortable with how I am. And there's also like the trust thing. Both of our jobs take us away from each other a lot. So I don't know how we'd be able to be in a relationship with each other if we didn't like have the most like absolute trust for each other, because his job takes him traveling a lot. Mine takes me traveling a lot. Like, we're away from each other often, and we're in situations that could be bad. I mean, any situation could be bad if you're looking for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, we don't do anything where we violate the other person's trust, and we kind of like tell each other like pretty much everything. If I get a message and somebody sends me a picture of their boobs, I'll send them to him, because it's like bonus tits. There you go. Have fun with that. But yeah, it's old school. Maybe it's old fashioned now, but I think openness and trust and transparency rather, and being like fully transparent, that works for us personally. I don't know about anybody else. I hear, however, that being poly is the new monogamy. This is what I heard it through the grapevine. And I've done shows and I've talked about polyamory and stuff before, and polyamorous relationships and polycules, and like sometimes it's a pyramid, sometimes it's, it's a square, sometimes it's all kinds of shapes. Fuck, it can be anything. It can be a fucking hexagon. I don't know. But I want to talk about it more because it fucking fascinates me. Polyamory, it's not for me personally, but it's fascinating to me. I find it so interesting to think about and study. It's interesting. I love human psychology, and I love to know what makes people like tick. So when it comes to like polyamory and things like that, I come to it from a place with like zero judgment, like seriously, and 100% curiosity, and the want and the willingness to learn. I have a few friends actually that do polyamory like right now, and we don't talk about it in depth. So I'd love to talk about it more in depth with people. We acknowledge it because it's such a change and family members are added or whatever. So that's always acknowledged. And I always wonder, I kind of wonder what it's like going through that as a child and seeing that transition happen through a child's eyes. That's really interesting to me. Is it traumatic? Is it not traumatic? And with adults, like my question is it always a bonding thing? Is it not a bonding thing? Do you stick around to cuddle? Is it a sex thing? Is it like one partner bonds with the other partner and the other ones don't? Like, how does that work out? Like, how does that work for you? Does it always work? Like, I understand more love, attention, and care. And I understand the fact that it takes a fucking village, because I fucking belong to one, that we all take care of each other's kids and stuff like that. We just don't fuck each other. It takes a village. You just don't have to bang the village. I don't know. Is it a sex thing? I don't know. I'm just guessing it's likely like a 50, 60, 40 more in favor of like the raising a village thing. Like, I'm guessing like polyamory really probably is rooted in more because people bring kids like into relationships and stuff like that, and they blend families and stuff like that. I think it is the whole it takes a village thing, and then like sex maybe takes a backseat. I don't know. I'm 100% down with families hanging out on the regular, feeding everyone as a group, like, feeding each other's kids, raising each other's kids, picking each other's kids up from school, dropping each other's kids off from school, going to play dates with each other's kids, sleepovers, all those things. I'm just not there to like bang. I don't want to bang. Like, why the sex? I completely understand for other people, like why they want to do it. Find your people, get together. I found my people. I'm good. I'm good. We take each other's kids, when we can, for like play dates or days of like, if they're getting off work early, if we're getting off work early, like we flip flop with each other's kids. We drop off dinners. We cover each other's asses. We show up for each other. Like, that's what you do when you're part of like a community. You know what I mean? It's more of a community than like just like a village. When you're community, you show up for each other. You look out for each other. All this without messing up with like emotions and kids and messy breakups and getting those things and some of those really tough emotions in the way. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes with sex can overcomplicate things once that starts getting involved. And then kids are involved too, and I think that's hard. I think it's really hard to focus on a familial bond and strength when you're navigating sexual relationships between adults. And I think that dynamic can kind of sometimes muddle it up with that dichotomy. I think it's weird, to have that as the backdrop to that. I think it's strange, right? It's interesting. Why do we need permission to cheat? Anyways, like I'm saying, like if we're going to do that, why do we need permission to cheat? Why would you feel better? Like, do you feel better with permission to like step out on your spouse and like your spouse know about it and be okay with it? Does it make you feel better? I don't know. I got enough to eat at home, and if I get hungry, I know where to look, right at home, like I say. But like, he almost got me pregnant again. What can I say? The man made me a steak, and then he made me a mom one day on Cinco de Mayo. That's how I got pregnant. When people ask me how long we've been together, I always say the same thing. Well, how old is like our daughter? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, add like a few months, because like we started dating in February. And I think I was pregnant by like, May? Yeah, I was pregnant by May. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. So yeah, we started dating in February. Officially started dating in February. And I was pregnant by May. We don't waste any time. This kid who was telling me about this, told me that he had a Taylor Swift, speaking of not wasting any time, told me he had a Taylor Swift body pillow and he humped it all the time. So I was telling my girlfriends about this. I was like, you never guess what this freaking disgusting little nose miner told me. But it was Taylor Swift body pillow that he humps and he's gonna hump all the time and he sleeps beside it and whatever. And so one of my friends just said that, you're gonna have to crack it in half. And I almost fucking spit my juice out my nose that I was drinking. I almost died. It was so funny because it was like unexpected from her. Just like one of those off the cuff remarks. It's just fucking amazing. I was like, I love you even more now. You're so funny. It's like, I don't know. I always got the eyebrow with anything that I said to anybody. I always get the eyebrow from everybody, whether it's a slut shame eyebrow for getting pregnant like a few months after Rob and I got together because we'd known each other for like forever. Do you think that like we didn't talk about having kids before we pulled the fucking goalie and there was like no one in net? We had this discussion, people. I'm not stupid. Holy shit. We actually discussed at length and often. I never thought actually that I'd have kids after my firstborn because I just didn't think it would happen again because after my first marriage, it was like, no more. I was like, oh, no good. That's not good. I don't want to have any more kids with that person. That person's not a nice person. So I don't want to do that. And I thought I'd never have kids. But then Rob thought he'd never have kids also. So he basically like adopted my son when he was like around just two, really tiny. And so he's always known him as dad and stuff like that. And Rob didn't know if he was going to ever have kids or whatever. So I think I look at it as just like, we got really lucky. Like, right? That's how I look at it. Like I said earlier, it was Canada Day here yesterday. Canada Day. We didn't like participate. We don't do the Canada Day celebrations. So I barbecued some ribs, but that's like what I would do any day of the week. Smoke some meat. Smoke some potatoes, like, you know what I mean? Like, smoke a pipe, anything. Fireworks, we don't do that stuff. The hubbub. We're really quick to reflect on and kind of do something quiet in Canada because we are living on stolen land. And I want to make people, like, aware of that and, like, people around me aware of that. People, like, don't care. There's a lot of people who just don't plain give a flying fuck. That's fine. I will not see them where they're going. But since we're living on stolen land, there's so much stolen culture and so many stolen women and stolen children and stolen families and stolen men and suicide rates that are skyrocketing and murdered missing Indigenous women that are skyrocketing and like people that haven't been found in residential schools, the things that we've done. I don't think that's anything to raise a flag for. I just really don't think that that's going on. Like, and patriotism, like, I'm sorry, as a Canadian, nationalism's fucking stupid. It's not fucking punk rock to be a fucking nationalist. It's dumb. Watch me loosen up as like my shoulders go down as I say that. I'm all puffed up. But seriously, being a nationalist isn't fucking cool. Not cool at all. I don't like it. It's not cool. So, living with all that stolen culture, there are some like people that are celebrating Canada Day when there's like so many reserves in Canada, like Indigenous reserves, that don't even have clean drinking water for the people that live at them. So I don't know what you're celebrating, but certainly I don't feel like celebrating when people can't even drink clean water. So as you put on your fucking tragically hip and get drunk and fucking shitty, inevitably, because it's always the fucking tragically hip, inevitably you blow your fucking arm off with Billy Bob's fireworks. I want you to check your brother fucking privilege and just realize where the fuck you are for a second. Just like stop and be like, oh, I forgot where I was for a second. Fuck. Like I say. The day isn't for a big like brouhaha in my opinion. It's if you think it's for that, like Canada Day, you've been whitewashed. Congratulations, you've been whitewashed. And like brainwashing by the white folks who make up the lies to cover the actual documented historical brutality of like actually what happened and what white people did. So people whitewash it and make up White people make up stories to cover up what actually happened. So that's what whitewashing is. And so they kind of like give you a Disney-fied version. Not this princess bitch. I've obviously lost my castle. Because without further ado, like I say, more summer. More summer. June is over. We are at the beginning of July. I've been to a ton of Pride celebrations all June. It was good. My city does its Pride event actually in like this month in July, which is Disability Pride Month too. So it's also, so we have like a Pride weekend or whatever. So there'll be that. There'll be a lot of concerts. There's gonna be a lot of festivals this July too, like just general festivals, music festivals, outdoor festivals, food festivals, like international food festivals. We are taking a trip cross country, so that's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that. And I'm also doing a fair bit of traveling to places where English is not the first language spoken. And that's something that I'm excited about because those are languages that I speak. I got to bone up a little bit, but I'm cool. I feel like I kind of woke up and found myself a lot this year. I've got a good group of folks that I chill with and I like a lot. And I've made so many like new friends and stuff like that. And like new friends that are cool and like really nice and stuff like that. I've watched my kids have a beautiful school year with great kids and great teachers. I have found a new calling. I will tell you that. Willie Nelson's found a calling. I can hear him barking. Let him do his thing. But really, I have found a new calling. I am teaching next year. It's like teaching. So I'm volunteering teaching. And it's going to be like a School of Rock situation. So Jack Black is the teacher in classes in session. So if you want to be the teacher's pet, like seriously, you better get to school on time because I'm teaching music next year. And I'm really excited to do some things with some music programs that I've also been like giving like funding to and stuff like that I really like backdoor funding because I don't want them to get unfunded as well. So funding music program that I really believe in. So I'm teaching next year. So that's going to be really cool. And I'm really glad I'll be able to work with some really talented kids. Seriously, it'll be the kids that I say, like, I knew them when. Summer is going to be great. So I like this vacation before I start teaching again and stuff like that. Summer's for campfires and guitars and concerts. Unless you get lost and bury, like me, on mushrooms, like when you're like a teenager. That happened, yeah, totally. But that was a bad story. But I found my friends again and I went to go see Hole and somebody gave me some magic mushrooms and I tripped my balls off and I like fell down a mud hill and I got lost. But then I found my friends again and everything was fine. And now like the girl who I got lost with makes kombucha and is a huge anti-vaxxer. So I don't know. It's a small world after all. Anyways, like I say, but camper, I don't know. Maybe summer is for like maybe a microdose or two. Don't go crazy on mushrooms. Maybe take a capsule or a tea if you're going to do that. Don't go fucking crazy so you're seeing all the Looney Tunes. But it's for things like, and fishing and cottaging and traveling a little bit, relaxing, barbecuing, gardening. I love my garden, my plants. I finally figured out what was wrong with my plants today. I got Laverne and Shirley. Finally found out that squirrely Shirley's been overwatered. It's like she's sitting in the muck. So I got to take her out of the swamp of sadness and do a transplant. Woo! Transplant. Summer's also for jamming and honestly, just like living the best life that you can. Having the funnest time with your kids. I'm at the pool every fucking day. Swimming my ass off. Having fun with the kids. They loving it. So, you know what I mean? Why not be there? Swimming lessons are great. Here's to you. Like I say, here's to summer. Here's to my empty womb. Seriously, you know where to find me. I'm going to be all over the place as usual, but you know where to find me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram at 21st Century Rocker Mom. Also, I'm on TikTok. Back on TikTok at the same. You have my condolences, 21st Century Rocker Mom. I'm on YouTube at Tandy Candler Channel. You can find me there. You can find me streaming wherever you stream. Whenever my lazy ass puts up all the episodes and they're up to date. But you can see them all on YouTube if you like to watch and you're that kind of person. Or maybe you just want to listen to it in the background. You don't want to see my crazy face doing whatever it's doing. But yeah, I will be around. And if you need to see me, I'm also on Twitter sometimes. You can find me on the threads on Instagram. Again, I will see you guys on the flip-flop. Be good to each other. And like I say, happy summer. Let the Julina begin. Welcome to Julina. Peace out.